Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're watching us live on the internet. It is time for the 82nd Annual Edison Festival of Light Junior Parade alongside Jacqueline Beavis of the American Heart Association. My name is Ted Fitzgeorge, and we are thrilled to be here together once again to bring you all of the festivities. Jacqueline, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Excited for my second year here with the Edison Festival of Light, and we are getting started right away with the law enforcement leading on motorcycles tonight.
Fort Myers.
Today, I guess.
It's this afternoon. It is today. February 9th. It's just past 2:30 in the afternoon. If you're watching on the internet and you're anywhere where it's cold, we're looking at 82 degrees. The sun is out. The sky is blue. Not the skies.
Yeah, just the
sky. There's only one.
The sky is blue. And
the palm trees are blowing.
Yeah, it's a little breezy.
We could not ask for a better day. We could not ask for a better day.
It's absolutely beautiful. I feel unbelievably lucky to be here in the city of Fort Myers right now.
We have lots of great sponsors to thank as the day goes on, and that includes the city of Fort Myers, Florida Power and Light, Morgan & Morgan, the Family Thrift Center, and a whole lot more. We'll talk about them as the day goes on. We appreciate you all coming on board and enjoying the parade with us. You need to get here if you have not been. Here comes the American flag, the Honor Guard.
It's always so nice to be here and to be starting things off this afternoon.
The welcome banner to the Edison Festival of Light. Again, we are celebrating Southwest Florida and Fort Myers' most famous part-time resident, Thomas Edison. Back in his time, used to come down with his wife and their family and spend winters in Fort Myers, along with the Firestone family and the Ford family. And behind us in Centennial Park is a beautiful fountain and a statue of the three of them. It's called the Uncommon Friends statue. We are situated cat-a-corner from Izzy's Fish and Oyster Bar. Skip Stevenson watching, or Skip Mitchell going by. Skip Stevenson used to do a TV show. Where did that come from? Skip Mitchell in the shot there very briefly. Skip is in charge of all the vehicles in the parade, does a great job.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office coming by now, and it looks like the deputy dogs.
We, of course, will start off with a large law enforcement presence in the parade. This is the junior parade. The grand parade is next Saturday night, February 15th. It's the earliest the parade can be each year. And I was beginning to tell you where we are set up. We are set up cat-a-corner from Izzy's on the corner of First Street and Jackson Street in the River District in downtown Fort Myers. And again, you could not ask for a nicer day.
No, you couldn't. And we usually say that around this time in February. Really grateful to be seeing the sunshine.
Check out this big vehicle. Do you remember the time I spotted you in the back of this vehicle?
Well, that was a different time.
That was a rough night, wasn't it?
That was a very different time. It was less sunny then. Much less
And here
sunny.
come all of the different law enforcement offices from Lee County. First up, the Fort Myers Police Department. We are in the city of Fort Myers limits. Next up, if you've never been to Sanibel, treat yourself. Come on down. It's an island, one of the barrier islands, Sanibel and Captiva.
He looks young to be in the back.
And it is probably 84 out there, but the seas are calm.
Yes.
And the wind is blowing, and it is just a great place to be. Seminole Gulf Railway, the Fay family. I love me some Gordon and Susan Fay. They used to ride in this parade. Now they've subbed it out to some of their employees.
Well, then we may see them next week in the Grand Parade.
It's a great way to turn, it's a cheap way to reward somebody.
It is.
For a job well done. Would you like to be in a parade? Well, who doesn't want to be in a parade?
Absolutely.
Next up,
Gail Anthony.
from LSU, Louisiana State University, the national champions, right? LSU, that's it. Gail Anthony, always a pleasure to see Gail. Gail has thrown her hat in the ring to run for mayor of Fort Myers.
Yes, she has. I got the pleasure
it's going to be an exciting
her.
year. Where's Kevin?
There he
is. Oh, he's out pounding the
walking.
pavement. I'm looking at Kevin Anderson, fellow board member on the Edison Festival of Light. He says, I'm just going to shake hands. Kevin's going to run for something, too.
Of course.
Dane Eagle, who I had in class at Bishop Road. He is, of course, a good gator.
Oh.
There you go. It's always a pleasure to see Dane. Dane is running for Congress and on his way to Washington, we think. So.
Here is, where's Spencer? Oh, there's Spencer.
Spencer must be shaking heads, too. Spencer is pounding the pavement. You can tell it's an election year.
Representative
Spencer Roach is a state rep. Spencer on Wednesday nights, you can see him happen. He goes in for pizza at the Bell Tower every Wednesday night.
And you usually, Ted always knows where people eat.
Here's Frank and Mary Lee Mann. It's always a pleasure. They are a big-time family here in Southwest Florida.
Lee County Commissioner Frank Mann, that is.
And here comes Olivia Trader. Olivia's going to be on the boxes of Tagalogs. It's great to see you, Olivia.
She says, I'm on the box.
She is on the box. She has sold so many. That's Susan Trader in the front with her. Steve Sizemore is our current president of the Edison Festival of Light. He is thrilled that this year has come to an end.
Oh, I bet.
So he can spend more time with those boys of his. He's got 3 boys. Anne-Marie Bodorf, who is blowing kisses, and he better blow one to me. I better get one too. There you go. He is the Edison pageant president.
And
here comes the royalty, the Edison pageant of Light, king and queen. They've got the wave down. There you go.
They do. A lot of practice goes into that. A lot of practice. That's quite a...
So I'm thinking the junior float must be next because I just saw Shane Spring run across again in good position to take pictures.
Yes,
he's got a member of his family on the float.
All of the moms and dads are reminding everyone how to wave.
Behind us, we've got the Sidney and Bert Davis Art Center, and these beautiful young children will be in the Art Center after the parade, and we will crown the junior king and queen of Edisonia a bit later on today.
They're probably ready for more treats and snacks.
Always a fun time. This is we've got a little break in the parade, so it's a good time to talk about some more of our sponsors. Our event sponsors include First Watch, the Daytime Cafe, our friends at the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater. Have you been there to see a show?
I absolutely have. Used to go regularly on their launch nights.
It's a great place. It's a great family theater.
It's a great family theater, and there's some delicious food.
The food is awesome, and the shows are great. That's my boy Will that does all that. They've got theaters in Arizona, Pennsylvania, and here in Fort Myers.
And he just keeps growing and growing. So it's always good to see that.
Lippman Family Farms and Lippman Produce, we couldn't do what we do without Lippman and my boy Jamie Weisinger and his crew. They are big-time sponsors of an awful lot of our events. Sam Galloway Family of Auto Dealerships. I can't say enough about Sam. Sam the second, who is actually the older Sam, then there's Sam Jr., then there's Sam the third. Sam will be riding in the parade next Saturday in the same car that he has ridden in since he was 4 years old.
I remember that
about 75 years of riding in the same car in the Edison Parade, and we are always happy to be involved with the Sam Galloway family of auto dealerships, along with B&I Contractors and more. Next up, this is the Honor Band this year. I'll let you talk about them.
The East Lee County High School Honor Band in their teal today.
The Honor Band is what we call the band that gets to lead the parade. They are the first band in the parade. We've probably got 9 altogether today.
These young men and women put a lot of time and effort into preparation for a day like today.
Now they are the Jaguars. Do you say Jaguars or Jaguars?
Jaguars.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate you.
Oh, sorry. Ted's the grammar police.
We could be British. We could go Jaguar.
Jaguar.
They are the East Lee Jaguars.
Jaguar.
One of the newer high schools in Southwest Florida, and we thank them for being here today and being the honor band for the junior parade.
And St. Francis Xavier Catholic School looks like they are right behind them.
St. Francis right around the corner here in the River District in downtown Fort Myers. Feeder school for Bishop Furrow High School. An awful lot of the students will go through St. Francis and make their way to Bishop Furrow a little further north.
A lot of them for a long period of time. Donning their blue.
You can hear the excitement. This is what I like. This is my favorite weekend of the festival. I really believe that. As much as we enjoy the grand parade on Saturday night next week and every year.
Such a neat opportunity
for the daytime parade. This is Americana. This is, you look up and down the streets. We did the 5K run earlier, not the 5K. We did the fun run.
There's no we.
But there were 4th and 5th graders that ran a mile.
Oh, which is phenomenal.
I told them all. I said, "You run now," because at least for me anyway. When I got my driver's license, I quit running.
Well, I still run, but I'm usually not the lead.
Yeah.
Not in any way.
But they did a great job, and that was sponsored, of course, by Morgan & Morgan, and we want to thank the Bagel Factory. They come out every year, and they provide bagels and water for our runners.
Because kids don't run if you don't offer food after.
That's it, exactly. So, all right, our first up group here is the Challenger Little League Baseball. It's a baseball program designed for physically and mentally challenged youth from the ages of 4 and up who live in our area. The goal is to provide playing opportunities to those youth who may not be capable of playing in regular baseball programs. I've actually had the honor of going out and being the public address announcer for this group.
Have you?
Because they go out a couple of times a year. We've got a couple of them. We'll talk about the stadiums that we have here in town. The Red Sox and the Twins, of course, call this home for spring training. and they get to go out and play on the field. And I've
That's
gone out
so
and done
cool.
the public address.
Well, they said they wanted to join the parade to make sure that people know that they exist, to make sure that anyone who might want to join them can do so.
And they all have their favorite teams. I mean, here you see a New York Yankee and a Boston Red Sox side by side.
Side by side. You don't see that very often. Ted obviously has his favorites.
Well, you know, I was born and raised a Yankee fan.
Oh,
but for the last 8 years, this will be my 9th year. I'm the public address announcer at JetBlue Park for spring training for the Boston Red Sox. So, of course, over the years, I have become a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, a bit more of a Red
My
Sox
grandfather,
fan.
of course, is rolling over in his grave.
We won't tell him. Greater Lee County Relay for Life coming by us now.
Have you ever been involved with this, with Relay for Life?
With Relay for Life, I have done a Relay for Life.
Have you? Good.
And you know, in every community, it's a little bit different.
I have. I've been the master of ceremonies at least a half a dozen times here in town for the Relay for Life. We've taken over City of Palms Park a couple of times. We've taken over downtown Fort Myers, and again, much like this event, people from all over the community dedicate themselves and their time and donate their time and their activities to a really good cause to raise money.
Back in Indiana, we did those as 24-hour events.
Really? I've done some 24-hour events here too. We've done those out at the stadium where
Ted, yours
we're
aren't
in
always
the parking
intentional.
lot. That's it. You're going to start a rumor?
Oh.
Let me write down some notes. I will give you some notes. This is still part of the Relay for Life group.
They are coming by.
It is. We may actually get a sunburn here today. For those of you not in Southwest Florida watching this parade,
you can see all of the sunshine coming down on us. 2020 DCR Littleton Festival of Music. They are performing Disney movies. Oh, I see Mickey and Minnie coming in on the keyboards. Mickey and Minnie on the keyboards.
I should have told my mom up in New Jersey to watch this. My nephew, my oldest nephew, has got 3-year-old twins. They live up in New Jersey as well, and they are huge Mickey and Minnie fans.
Oh, well, here
so
they
we tell them all the time that we are Mickey and Minnie's neighbors because we're trying to get them to come down
to
and
come
spend
visit.
time with
And
us.
you know what? Your neighbors here rolling right by us. They are playing some of the Disney classics. Here on the Woodwinds, we have Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh starting a new movie this past year, didn't he?
He could very well have. I'm kind of an Eeyore fan myself.
I don't know if Eeyore has ever started anything. Alice in Wonderland right behind them. Of course, we do appreciate.
I've been down the rabbit hole on more than one occasion.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure what that means.
If
but,
that's a rumor mill. Oh, the Lariats and Lace crew coming by now. Oh, I see a flamingo too. We do of course want to thank our sponsor, the Cindy and Vern Davis Art Center. Ted mentioned that's where we are sitting, right in front of the Art Center. On the porch of the Art Center are the judges for today's event. Of course, all of the participants put a lot of time into their costumes and their floats, and so we appreciate our volunteer judges helping us out and putting these folks to the test. There is the dance studio. Hi, how are you? Impressing us with leg kicks so early in the day. And there is there he is. Good to see you,
Kevin
sir.
Anderson, he's looking for my vote, but he's going to have to get me to move into his district first, I think. I'm not sure. Kevin, you could not get a nicer day, could you?
No.
You could not get a nicer day for a parade. It's beautiful. That's it, exactly. Vote early and vote often. That's buy myself a house. That's
Yeah.
it. So
Are there any bicycles still in the parade, you know?
we'll find out as soon as you do.
We'll know first from right here in our seats. The YMCA wandering by now. Always appreciate all of the opportunities the YMCA offers. We got some basketball dribblers. Dribblers? Basketball
Dribblers,
players,
I like that, yeah.
Something like that. And that is potentially the North Fort Myers marching band, I'm guessing. I can't see that.
That's where you don't have to because there they are. The banner is being blown around in the breeze.
So that tells you just how breezy
This
it
is Dunbar. This is the
Oh,
Dunbar
only my
Marching
hair.
Tiger Band. They are a late addition to the parade this year. They were not on our original list, but we got word this morning that they had put enough of their group together. But people don't always understand. This is not really marching band season. Marching band season is the fall. During football season, they do all their routines and stuff out on the field at halftime and
all
pregame
the marching
and
bands
whatnot.
are nice enough to dust
So then they do
off
pep bands at dinner, or during basketball season and baseball, they'll send a pep band out, which is normally 6 or 7 instruments and a drum line, and that's about it. So we appreciate them putting their group back together and coming out. They are the Tigers of Dunbar High School. They'll stop right here on television and do a little routine.
Well, they've got a lot of. That is a lot of movement for carrying a...
Dunbar, one of the original high schools, one of the early high schools here in Fort Myers, closed down for a long time and then reopened probably about 20 years ago and has been going strong ever since.
Certainly have. I saw a couple of Dunbar students just recently winning a few different awards in a writing contest.
And to the best of my notion, or to the best of my knowledge, Carl Burnside, still the principal there. Carl has been there for years and has been a major contributor to Southwest Florida and the children that have grown up here. So
their principal accepted some accolades from City of Fort Myers and Mayor just last week.
They may have just gotten into the parade earlier this morning, but they know where the TV camera is.
Oh yeah, they've done this before. They do it very well.
We have 17 bands scheduled. Ian Mann, an attorney here in town. You just saw 3 men go by. The Mann family, very big here in Southwest Florida. Of course, over at FSW, there is the Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall.
There is the Fort Myers Middle Academy.
I almost didn't see him in the camouflage. They give us a list of the units that are supposed to be going by us, and so far on our list,
we've seen one.
There's been one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've gotten one accurate.
I'm not sure what they do where they stage the parade, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the list that they've given us. So as always, we will just continue to make stuff up as the parade goes by.
There's Gateway Charter High School.
Once again, alongside Jacqueline Beavis of the American Heart Association. My name is Ted Fitzgeorge with the Edison Festival of Light. I'm on the board for over 20 years now. I don't feel that old, but I am.
Oh, I thought you were here when
Thomas Edison decided to start this.
Yeah.
Gateway Charter High School, a little bit out east, out actually past JetBlue Park where the Red Sox train. We started to talk earlier about the Minnesota Twins and the Boston Red Sox both calling Fort Myers home for spring training.
They're about to get on their
pitchers and catchers report this week, but a lot of them are already in town working out because when you make $20 million a year, you have to show up in shape. You don't show up in here to get in shape like you used to.
I figured they were here for the sunshine.
I'm hoping they're here for the parade. Would be nice. Speaking of athletes from Fort Myers, next Saturday night we were very fortunate to get as an honorary Grand Marshal. He recently was a member of the Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs. That's Sammy Watkins, who went to South Fort Myers High School.
Lots of family of Sammy Watkins still here in Fort Myers.
His half-brother, Jalen, is a Florida Gator who also plays in the NFL and, as you mentioned earlier, has won a Super Bowl. Next up is the Evangelical Christian School. Go ECS. They are dressed. You see some costumes there. That's fantastic.
Some of their
Look
favorite
at that.
I believe. Fan of the ECS crew. Too. ECS, of course, has preschool, grade school, high school. They've got kids of all ages. There's Miss Martin.
They are the Sentinels of Evangelical Christian School.
So cool for them, too, to have the opportunity to walk in a parade like this. I know the young kids
We
really enjoy it.
a few years back we had Cory Lynch, who played for Evangelical Christian and then played for Appalachian State before moving on to the NFL. And Cory was instrumental in one of the biggest upsets in college football history when Appalachian State beat Michigan in the Big House in Ann Arbor.
I thought that I recognized that
Several
name.
years later, he was our Grand Marshal, and I got a chance to talk with him and visit with him the night of the parade, show him a picture I had taken, because I was at that game where he blocked a field goal that helped protect the win for Appalachian State, and we were thrilled that year to have Cory be a part of our parade.
I'm sure.
Look at this,
he
he's
is
dressed
a
up.
very proud ECS alum.
The greatest. He is the greatest. He's waving at everybody. That's a great costume.
That is a great costume, and he looks
Next
like
up,
he could slow up the
Sunshine
parade.
Elementary, where bright futures begin.
Oh, and they even have a cheer. And socks that say cheer too.
Again, our list is in no particular order, and in fact, there's a lot of people in this parade that didn't make our list.
That's why I'm not sure. I believe this is the Sparkle Elite crew. One of our.
Wow, nice. I like the eyes.
Look at their
Good,
shoes.
Nice.
One's silver, one's blue. I wonder if they had a trade. You gonna find someone to trade with? And one of the other.
I don't. If you get dressed anything like my wife in the morning, she would be thrilled if that would be a thing that
If
she could do in the
one
courtroom.
shoe-
One shoe doesn't match the other. It would be so much easier to get dressed in the morning.
Yeah, I'm lucky if my shoes match.
This is my sister's alma mater, Alexandria.
Oh.
She is, of course, a proud graduate of Riverdale High School. It's out east off of State Road 80, or actually right on State Road
Yeah.
80. They are the Raider Marching Band.
They always bring a wonderful marching band to the show, as Ted said earlier. It's not their season, but
They've been around since the early 1970s here in Southwest Florida. Before that, you would go to Alva to go to high school.
the hike. Ted, get your wallet out. The Girl Scouts are coming behind.
The Raider Marching Band, real quickly if we could, very active in the community and state events. They've recently performed at Disney World and Universal Studios in Orlando, so we're thrilled to have them
They know what
down
they're
here and
doing.
be a part of it. That's right. Now here comes Troop 226. Remember our honorary Grand Marshal who went by earlier, Olivia
Is this
Trader.
her?
I'm not sure if this is her troop, but she has sold so many cookies that they have put her face and picture on the box
Ted's eaten
of
so many
tag-alongs.
cookies
So
that they
I
offered
am
to put his face on
I
it
am
as
working
well.
hard with Olivia's mother Susan to try to snag both of us some tag-alongs for next week.
Well, they've got a few boxes behind them here. They're pulling their radio flyer. I know the Girl Scouts. They
You know,
won't miss an opportunity for a good sale.
A lot of people like baseball season. A lot of people like football season. I like Girl Scout cookie season.
Which is longer and longer, and if you put them in the freezer, it's almost all
They
year
last
long.
all year. I like Samoas, tag-alongs, Thin Mints. You can convince yourself.
I've overdone the Thin Mint. I think
This
I've
is Aladdin brings magic to Edisonia. We love the family floats and the junior parade. We
What
we
a lot of
truly do.
effort. That's beautiful.
There are walking and stroller floats. Here comes some more. A star shines bright over Edisonia. Look at the costumes.
that is
Very
some
nice.
Sparkles. And look at
Yeah,
that
oh,
baby
there's a
foot.
baby inside too.
There is
That's
a baby in
great.
there.
A real baby? A real baby.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Oh, Pooh. It's time for Edisonia.
Oh, there's Pooh on the front too. Also a real baby.
And I see Eeyore.
Some of your favorites. Some of your
And somebody's
favorites.
sound asleep. Sound asleep.
A busy bee.
I've heard about people who can sleep on a picket fence in a rainstorm. I think that was one of those. Yes, that was one of those.
A very
kids.
good day in Edisonia.
Look at
What
her
an
with her sunglasses.
impressive
She's looking
float.
beautiful. Very nice.
On a swing. I love that. The ideas for these floats.
This one may make us hungry because it's called Living the Sweet Life in Edisonia. I see some, must be almost an Easter theme. They look like Easter.
Look, Candyland.
Yeah, Candyland and lollipops.
She looks like she's
and a
well,
beautiful little girl who's just wondering what the heck is going on. But
Dad's in a cast.
But
I
she
wonder
had
if it
candy.
was
Mr. Edison, you're a great catch.
oh, look at that. Oh,
Very
look at
nice.
that boat.
Wow, he's got his fishing rod and a
quite
fish on the
hat.
end of the line. Very nice.
Impressive.
Next up is D5. Again, if
Her
only
name yet,
our
but it looks delicious.
There's ice cream involved.
Oh,
You can
I'm
never go
interested.
wrong
A
with ice
cupcake
cream.
As well. Never turn down a cupcake.
There's a couple of great ice cream stores
Oh, there's a
downtown
baby
in
in there,
Fort
too.
Myers. Yeah. Next up is the Island Coast High School Marching Band from Cape Coral High School. They are the Gators.
Oh, that's right. I always forget you know that.
So funny, but you know, I'm old. Our high school band played that song. It's certain songs just go with high school marching bands, don't
Were
they?
you in the marching band?
No, I played saxophone for a couple of years in the band. I need to take that back up again. People tell me I've got enough wind that I should still be able to play the saxophone.
Put it to some sort of good use.
That's right. Next up, Bright Beginnings Early School, Cypress Lake United Methodist Church. I've got a feeling I'm going to have some friends that are going by here in just a moment or two. People that I taught when they were in school.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I am once again getting very old as I watch them walk by. That's just awesome. This is one of my favorites. Look, the fathers get to pull the big long float. The mothers get to walk by themselves. The fathers do all the work.
Of course, and they're appreciated.
And I knew Cory would get put. I knew Cory would get put to work today. There's no doubt about that.
And check this out. This is the
this goes on.
smartest group. They
This
just
goes
sit
on
down and
forever.
ride.
Right. This goes on forever too. Look at this. They are an annual event. The fans love them when they show up in the junior parade, and they will be in the grand parade next week as well.
Beautiful floats, and I'm sure they have to probably do some repairs fairly frequently.
And again,
with all the
notice
little ones.
some more dads struggling and pulling the floats. And where are the moms? The moms are hanging out behind, waving
They're
at people, having a good
They
time.
probably made sure everyone had the proper costumes. We got 3 to a float there, and one that's pretty tired. The eyes
they are
closing in the
adorable,
back.
aren't they?
Ted's got all of his friends.
That's my girl Kristen
wandering
Bartos,
by.
who is Kristen Savage now, and she texted me and said, "Be on the lookout. We're going to be in the parade."
Everyone knows that Ted will be somewhere along the route. He's sometimes harder to spot than others. You can't hear him coming.
I'm working hard to come out of my shell.
Someday, Ted. Someday. All
When
right.
I'm all alone. Notice there's some apartments here too. You can't quite see it in the shots that we've got on TV, but there are people out on their balconies watching the parade today.
That's a great seat.
This is the North Fort Myers Red Knight Band. Famous North Fort Myers graduates include Deion Sanders.
They're always more than willing to represent.
Deion comes back and still provides shoes and athletic equipment for the football team for the Red Knights, and has also gotten involved with his 7-on-7 camps of late here in Southwest Florida. So it's always good to have Deion come back to town, remembering his roots.
There we go. Everyone's enjoying it. This is kind of warm up too for the grand parade next week with the shorter distance here for these bands
So
next week.
going by now the Golisano Children's Hospital ambulance. They are followed by my friend Jim O'Brock's fire truck, who is carrying our Grand Marshal today. And Jim has been a godsend this week. And there is little Sarah E.
Hi,
Sarah E.
Our Grand Marshal.
That's our Grand Marshal. She
for
is
the
just
parade
beautiful.
today. Of course, we should mention
Very
Ted's
nice. We are
beautiful
so
wife.
happy to have you guys here and be a part of the parade. Sarah E. being accompanied by the beautiful Chief Assistant Public Defender of the 20th Judicial Circuit. That is, of course, my wife, the lovely Kathleen Fitzgeorge.
Always good to see them, and we'll hear more from Sarah Lee, I'm sure, in the coming week.
Sarah E.
Sarah E., I'm sorry.
Sarah Lee would provide us some cakes.
I'm also hungry.
This is, of course, the Green Wave Marching Band of Fort Myers High School.
Unfortunate Michigan shirt mixed in the mix, but... the Fort Myers Green Wave going by the marching band. We've seen quite a few of those. And up the road, a large Ford truck. Brief pause in the parade for us. We can mention some more of our sponsors that we appreciate all that they do for the Edison Festival of Light Parade. Calusa Tent and Rental, Greater Fort Myers, Chamber of Commerce, of course, Campo Felice right here in downtown Fort Myers.
Where I may eventually live, you never know.
You know what? Have you been in there?
I have. It's
Those
beautiful.
Places are beautiful.
It is beautiful. We also want to thank the Southwest Florida Community Foundation, the Edison and Ford Winter Estates. If you haven't been, you need to go check that out. It is a must-do when you're in Southwest Florida.
It's a reason to come here. In and of
all by
itself.
Zambelli Fireworks, of course, will be providing the fireworks for us next Saturday actually, after the parade goes off, the fireworks will follow the parade, so we look forward to that. The Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, with my friend Marshal Bauer, they are involved with us. We've partnered with them, and they do what's called STEMtastic and our Day of Discovery. That was yesterday morning, and that was a lot of fun. This is Peace and Love in Edisonia. This song is far too old for you to remember it, but it is the Archies. Another board member taking the day off to march in the parade. One of these years, instead of doing all this work that I do, I am going to march in this parade.
That's confident.
Or perhaps even better, ride in this parade.
Yeah, I don't know that you, unless you get your marching band shoes back out. All right, the Lee County Junior Drill Team, all things junior today. Looks like they have a couple different groups here together, all marching to the same beat. The Lee County Junior Drill Team. And a lot of moms and dads.
Moms and dads love this.
We should say this is a big thanks to all the moms and dads who make sure that that this junior parade can go off without a hitch.
This goes on for generation and generation. Some of them 7 and 8 generations long. It's unbelievable.
The Mud Strut coming by. You were part of the Mud Strut yesterday, weren't you, Ted?
I was. I always am. So it was a great day yesterday.
Some of our favorite pups.
We have another beautiful day for that Mud Strut. That is, of course, the lovely Holly Marth. Holly is our chairperson for the Mud Strut. It's great to see Holly out enjoying a beautiful day. Again, taking off from work. There's Michelle.
A little pup in the back.
More people who have figured out how to be in the parade instead of having to work to put it on. I'm very envious.
I feel like Ted's gonna.
My eyes are not.
If Ted disappears next Saturday.
My eyes are not green for no reason whatsoever.
We'll know where he went. Vic's Painting coming by now.
We want to thank our judges for this year's parade because we do have awards that we give out prior to the crowning of the Junior King and Queen, and they've asked me not to use last names. I'm not sure why. Walked right by us with candy and didn't give any. You know, you've got to give the reporters candy. What's going on?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
We talk about you. You have to put candy down in front of us. Thank you. Have fun. All right.
You're doing great. Smokey the Bear coming by.
Smokey the Bear, only you can prevent forest fires. We should really ship him out to Australia for a little while.
Yes, we certainly should.
It's been a really rough time over in Australia.
Some of the Florida Forest Service
but I do love me some Smokey the Bear.
Been over there helping.
Anyway, our volunteer judges have asked me not to use their last names, but they are Ginger, Patty, Linda, and again, I'm jealous, Dave. Dave gets to hang with Ginger, Patty, and Linda. But on the other hand, I get to hang with you.
There we go. And as Ted mentioned, these are generations of families that have been part of this. There's a lot on the line today with some of these contestants.
Did you say wine?
No.
No, you said line.
Okay. Line.
All right, you get hungry, I get thirsty. This is what happens.
Estero High School Wildcat Marching Band wandering by now.
Estero is a village, actually. They call themselves the Village of Estero, just a bit south of us. We go through downtown Fort Myers, central Fort Myers, South Fort Myers, and then down to San Carlos and then Estero.
Home of the American Heart Association.
Is that where you are? Is that where your new office is?
It is.
Excellent.
It is.
Oh my goodness, look at these athletes coming up behind them.
We got
not only walking the entire parade route. Wow.
I've done the Grand Parade once, Ted, and I did do a cartwheel on US 41. But I don't think I can do what some of these young ladies are doing. See, handless cartwheels and some impressive work you'll see on your screen here in a second. Here they go. All right, the Melody Lane performance Performing Arts Center will be next for you. That's who's flipping and turning and tumbling.
Toppling, tumbling. They don't want to topple.
Nah, no, the goal's not to topple.
They'll
just to
tumble, you can
yeah.
topple, I'll tipple.
It'll go in that order or a different order, depending on the day.
So a little break in the action, a chance to mention a couple of more sponsors. B&I Contractors, our friends at the Family Thrift Center. I went to the Family Thrift Center one time. I needed some kitchen chairs. I found them for $1.95 a piece. It was unbelievable.
Are you still sitting on those, Ted?
I wasn't sure if I needed to get them. They were for my father-in-law. But I thought at less than $2 a piece, I'm going to go ahead and risk it. And he sat on them until he moved. So it
Always
was a
appreciate
great deal.
it.
That was at the Family Thrift Center, LCEC. The Sidney and Vern Davis Art Center, as you mentioned, we are seated in front of that today. We are located on the corner of 1st Street and Jackson Street.
You should mention the Fort Myers Track Club. I don't know if you had yet. They put on the wonderful
The fun run earlier
run
today.
today.
And we partner with them every year also for the 5K, which is a qualifying run for the New York City Marathon and the Boston Marathon. So this is the Bayshore Elementary School Cloggers, always a big hit.
out of North Fort
And look,
Myers.
there's another sleeping baby on the route. It's just, Dad's got a skimmer and a sleeping child that he's carrying for the entire parade route.
You want to ride in the parade?
Look at that
I'd
little
sleep
guy
through
with the
the
covered
parade.
wagon, a little bit of a schoonover there, or whatever. What were they, schooners?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it was the Schoonover.
Schoonover was a judge here at Fort Myers for a lot of years. He has since passed away, but we do miss Judge Schoonover too. This is the clogger float. These are the Bayshore clogger. Oh, he almost lost his hat to me.
Led with a gator.
Yeah. I always say these are like the smartest boys in the parade. There's maybe 6 or 8 boys, and the rest of them are all girls. It's a great way to meet girls.
Now take your left hand and put it on your side.
Those boys and girls practice every day for an hour, I think, after school.
Look at the crowd getting into
I
it.
know, see? Whoa.
Oh, there went the script.
Yep. There, we got one. There we go. These are always impressive, too, some of the skate teams that come through.
Wow, look at that on the half pipe.
That's what it's called.
Very nice, thank
Oh,
you.
I love free coffee.
Free coffee. All right.
Awesome, thank you. That group is called, oh, we need that. Ride Nature on the half pipe. Is that what it's called, a half pipe?
Next up, the Little Wave, anchored in tradition.
Oh, that's so cool. I think you just got a "We love you," Ted. Ted appreciates all the love.
You can see which ones are future Teds and Jacqueline's because they know right where the camera is.
Yeah. Stop there.
Here come the boot camp mamas. You were talking about them earlier.
Yes, mamas. They are moms. Or
They go out, they
moms.
exercise together, and they have all had children recently, so they take their toddlers with them. And I've seen them at different malls around town and stuff before the malls open, like over at the Bell Tower. And they'll stop and they'll all do exercises. Then they'll pull their wagon some more and do some more exercises. And,
Well, like that could be a workout in and of itself, pulling that wagon. Oh,
and I like that they didn't go with a superfluous apostrophe in mamas. They got it right. It's plural. You don't need an apostrophe. That's.
Ted's been really firm on the grammar today,
Yes.
and we appreciate it.
Look at these great
Clearly
costumes.
do
And
the
little
boot
guy
camp
riding in
mama.
the circus
Yeah.
wagon. That's great.
She must be the leader. She wears a headset, so she's the one
That's
who tells
right.
you what to do next.
Now I've got a wife for that.
Oh, wow. She's busy in the
Look,
parade.
they've got their own vehicle.
They
The
do
Boot
have.
Camp Mamas. Be fit, be strong, be mama. Check them out at bootcampmamas.com.
I do believe you can sign up and join them.
This
too.
is the Growing Room Child Development Center. Dressed up in their matching purple. Again, we are in Southwest Florida. Jacqueline Beavis of the American Heart Association, Ted Fitzgeorge with the Edison Festival of Light, celebrating our 82nd annual Thomas Edison Festival as we enjoy remembering Southwest Florida's most famous part-time resident, Thomas Edison. We are situated on 1st Street at the corner of Jackson and 1st, cat-a-corner from Izzy's Fish and Oyster House. My friend Chad Hicks is now the general manager there, so I'm hoping he'll take good care of us. here in
Deliver
just a bit.
snacks
Deliver us
at some
something,
point.
yeah. Half a dozen oysters and a cold beer would be nice.
Ted That's been
Talk to me about the band.
for oysters. The band didn't have a sign, but they are the Bonita Strings Music Department Marching Band. We appreciate them joining us today.
Now, a bit later on today, we will be crowning the Junior King and Queen of Edisonia, as well as giving awards out for the best floats and the best units that we've had in the Junior Parade today. Here comes the American Red Cross, their disaster relief vehicle. When there are, well, obviously disasters in this country or around the world, the American Red Cross, often one of the first responders to any of those things, and they are just an amazing group of people.
Well, you know, from the biggest disasters to, you know, a disaster that only impacts one family, they're always the first ones there. Well, the second ones there after the first responders, I suppose. And they're always happy to be part of this parade. This explains the bubbles earlier, though, Ted. Bubbles coming out of the American Red Cross float right now.
We love bubbles.
We do. And a little classic music for you.
When we got hit with the bubbles earlier, it felt like it was raining. I mean, they were putting out some water, so.
Well, we knew better than
That's a great looking dragon.
That's a heck of a dragon. I saw them putting that together a little bit earlier today. One of those where one man's on a ladder yelling for another man to come help him. Looks more complicated than most things. Oh, look at the dog in the shirt. A dog in a shirt's always going to win. Look at that. That is a dog.
That's a beautiful dog. Look at all that hair. I remember when I had hair like that.
Ted, I think you still have hair.
It's been a long time. It has been a long time, but I used to have hair like that.
Following the American Red Cross, the North Fort Myers Academy of the Arts.
Look, they're playing the violin. You don't get violins in parades too often. We have a little bit of everything here in Southwest Florida. It is the Junior Parade. We're probably getting up close to 50 Junior Parades that we've done now in our 82 years as a festival. This is the oldest, longest running, biggest festival in Southwest Florida, and in fact annually is voted the largest nighttime parade in the southeastern United States, and that'll be next Saturday night, the Grand Parade. Our Grand Marshal, of course, was in this parade earlier today, Sarah E. Salinas. Sarah E. recently beat cancer and has since beating it. She got to ring the bell at Golisano. There's the Miss USA pageant winners, the Miss Legacy US pageants. Anyway, the tradition at the hospital is when you have your last treatment, you get to ring the bell. And there's pictures of her ringing the bell. And she is now cancer-free and has since turned 7 years old. And we're proud to have her as our Grand Marshal this year. We also have a couple of, they've got the wave down. There's no doubt about it. That's great.
Pageant wave.
We also have a couple of honorary Grand Marshals this year. One was in this parade as well, the Girl Scout cookies that she has sold the heck out of. Her name is Olivia Trader. And then next week, as another honorary Grand Marshal, we've got Sammy Watkins, who went to South Fort Myers High School here. And Sammy, of course, recently was part of the winning Super Bowl team, the Kansas City Chiefs. And we're thrilled to have Sammy coming back to town next Saturday to be part of our event. He grew up watching these parades, and he was literally and genuinely excited to say yes and accept our invitation. So,
Canterbury School starts with their band.
The Cougars. Canterbury, a private school here from pre-K right on through high school over on College Parkway, a little bit south of us here.
Some great sports programs.
They've turned out some great athletes. They've got a young tennis player who's now playing at Michigan State, and his little brother is even better than he is. At least that's what he tells me. That's what he tells me anyway. And next up, the marching pride of Cypress Lake High School, the Panther Marching Band.
Speaking of food, or we're always speaking of food, Salty Sam's.
Salty Sam's. Have you been?
Yes.
Great place.
Yes. Yes.
Lots of things to do out there.
And
Eating, drinking. There's a boat, a pirate ship you can go out on.
they usually have some live music out there.
Or you can ride in their float if you're really nice.
You absolutely.
Oh, here comes some pirates. Okay, if I must. I got some beads. Yeah, there you go, an eye patch.
Yes.
I am a pirate for life. I've got
Officially.
beads and an eye patch.
I always wondered how they saw through them. You can't see through the eye patch. It all makes sense now.
Next up, and yet another Sam Galloway vehicle, a Ford F-150. This is a beautiful float. There are family floats, there are commercial floats. We've got awards for everything that we give out a bit later on today.
Oh! Well-prepared float.
Yeah. Of course, they didn't prepare us. That was the problem.
No.
It came
Never.
and went. We have no idea, but it was sharp.
A well-done float. A lot of time and effort going into these costumes and floats and.
We want to thank our media sponsors, Florida Weekly, In the Know, In the Now. Florida Weekly, of course, great coverage. Along with Renda Broadcasting, they always let me come down and cut a couple of radio spots that they run as PSAs through the 2 weeks of our festival.
Can you speak in short enough to just be a radio spot?
I do 30 seconds.
Okay.
So far, and I do it every year, and so far, every time I've done it, it's been one take for each spot.
Oh, okay.
And when I finish, the producer looks at me and says, "You've done this before, haven't you?" I said, "Doesn't this happen every time somebody comes in to do their own spots?" He just shook his head and said, "I wish. I wish." So we thank Renda Broadcasting. That includes, of course, Bob FM 102.9. They play anything. Mix 104.7. My friends at Gator Country 101.9. And WGUF 98.9. Naples FM Talk. That's the Gulf. So check that out. This is Zumba Fitness.
You've probably never been a part of a Zumba class, Ted.
No,
I would love for you to.
I'll be
try it
honest, I never have. Do they serve beer?
Oftentimes females say, I know you say you don't run to work out, but you could dance to work out. And these ladies do some workouts. I mean,
It looks like a workout.
yes.
They don't need to be pulled. They don't need a float.
Yes.
They're marching the whole way and dancing the whole way.
They're good at it. They're in sync.
Look
That's
at
why
that.
I got kicked out of every Zumba class.
There
I've
you
ever
go.
tried,
That's
but thank you,
great.
Ted. You can go. Oh, lots of Zumba opportunities out here. And a lot of ladies, everyone very happy to be doing it.
Here comes the Ray V. Pottorff Elementary School. Ray V. Pottorff, we actually have a note about them.
And they had a lot of students in the junior fun run today.
It's called Lee County's Hidden Treasure. It's located in the South Zone adjacent to the Paul Lawrence Dunbar Middle School. Ray V. Pottorff opened in 2004, currently serves 750 students, grades PK through 5th. It offers tag classes, Friday clubs for all students, choir, drum group, as well. Oh my goodness, we just got squirted with a camera. As well as many other opportunities to meet the best needs of the whole child. Ray V. Pottorff was able to raise their grade school to a B and continues to push for high academic performance. Check out the best hidden treasure of the South Zone.
A big thanks to our
offer.
teachers and staff at these schools too. They, of course, working tirelessly.
Now this is the Mariner High School Marching Triton Band. They have a couple of famous athletic graduates of their own, both Florida Gators. Teddy Dupay, great basketball player, still the all-time leading scorer in Southwest Florida history in high school. And Ernest Graham, who has also served as a Grand Marshal for our parade over the years.
A lot of, Fort Myers is lucky, a lot of our folks that have found a lot of success after life in Fort Myers come back to visit us, especially here for the Edison Festival of Life Parade.
We're very happy this year that we've got our Grand Marshals, our actual Grand Marshal and our 2 honorary Grand Marshals. All 3 are very local. We didn't go outside. We've had Mickey Mouse as a Grand Marshal. We had who played Funny Face.
You're out of my league.
She was adorable, and but she just happened to be in town. We've had actors and actresses that come in and do it, but when it's the locals, it just seems like it fits our events a whole lot better. So we're very happy to have them here. This is
of
Florida
local.
Rep, which is right here in downtown Fort Myers, and we love the job that Florida Rep does bringing in shows. This is the parade man himself, Mr. Mike Gill, stopping by to say hello. His son, the Honorable Zachary Gill and Connor Gill. Look at that.
The whole crew.
Wearing his
They're on the
Bishop
golf
Verot
cart.
Viking shirt, and he's ready. There's the Sky Zone. Have you been to Sky Zone?
I have not.
Did you do any stories? You should have.
No, I could go.
A
lot of moving around.
You might send an ambulance to follow me. A lot of these guys I'm looking at, and I'm thinking this might be getting close to the end of the parade
It
because
looks like it.
these are our unit marshals and our board members who put in an awful lot of hard
I
work.
was going to say the men and women who make days like today and weeks like we're experiencing all possible.
These events just don't pop up by themselves. This is a year-round effort. We are a working board. Nobody gets paid. It's a way to give back to the community. There are second generation, third generation, Lauren Taylor and Brianna Shorkus, and here comes some more Fort Myers police vehicles. As we wrap up our junior parade, we want to thank you all for joining us. And we hope you'll join us next Saturday night as well. We want you here next Saturday night for the Grand Parade. We've talked about our Grand Marshals, our Honorary Grand Marshals, everything else that we've got. We've got 17 marching bands that you'll want to come out and see. It is bigger, it is badder, it is better than ever.
Well, and if you haven't been part of it before, it is, as Ted mentioned earlier, the largest nighttime parade
in the southeastern United States. And I told you earlier today that Sam Galloway, who has ridden in every one of these since he was 4 years old, and I don't want to give Sam's age away, but Sam is well over 4 years old now. He will be riding in the same car next year that he is, or next week, that he has ridden in every year since he was 4 years old. So if you don't come out for any other reason, come out to cheer Sam on and cheer that car on to make sure it makes it. We want to thank you all for joining us. We are in Southwest Florida, the annual Junior Parade as part of the Edison Festival of Light. Jacqueline Beavis, thank you so much. She's not with NBC2 anymore, but she's still my favorite co-host. We're glad to have you here.
I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back, and I'm excited for next week.
And we're excited for your new job with the American Heart Association. I know you're going to kill it. There's no, well, that's probably not the right way, but I know you're going to do a great job. My name is Ted Fitzgeorge. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for the Grand Parade. It's the Edison Festival of Light. Good afternoon and have fun.